What's up, everybody? This is the Friday Sports Riot. I'm Ryan Hoppy.
I'm Ryan Stuprich. So, Ryan, now what's coming up next on Friday Sports Riot?
We have Marty Brooks, one of the top-rated morning show personalities in Grand Rapids on Thunder 94.5, host of the Flounder and Marty Morning Show. He's coming up next to tell us about the Bears versus Vikings debacle. Right after this. Man, how was your show this week?
It was busy. It's been fun. I'm actually on my way to Flint. We're on the air in Flint, going to host a concert tonight. So that's where I'm headed. To Jared Neiman, who's been a good buddy. So out there for the night, and then back to Grand Rapids tomorrow morning to have an appearance. So it's a really, really busy week. But I think it's more of a depressing week than anything else with the way the Bears played on Sunday afternoon.
Now, going back to that game on Sunday, what did you think about the kick or the decision by Mark Trestman to try to kick the game-winning field goal on second down when they could have gone and run the ball another down and gotten closer? And, I mean, I know it's Robbie Gould kicking, but a few more yards could have made the kick a lot easier.
All right, let's be honest. 47 yards isn't an old chip shot, and I don't know where we thought that was smart to go on second down. I mean, I understand you don't want to, you're worried about fumbling the ball or an interception, but at least see what you can do with Matt Forte, because if he fumbles, what are you going to do about it? And then someone's going to say, well, why didn't you go for the field goal? But I would have ran it one more time and maybe gained a few more yards. And, here's the funny thing. If he ran it, would Robbie Gould have missed that field goal? Because even if they didn't gain any yardage, I don't think Robbie Gould would have missed the field goal. But that's just me. It just seems the way that things work. But, man, it was a heart-wrenching game. The Bears outplayed the Vikings. Even defensively, the Bears outplayed the Vikings. And the Bears' defense is the worst thing on paper. So, It was kind of just a rough game to watch because the offense outplayed, I think, the Vikings, even though, yes, Adrian Peterson had a huge game. I actually thought the officiating was pretty bad for both sides, but a lot of calls, I don't think that things that were not called. I think there were a lot of holding calls. I mean, you're seeing the replays, and half of the Bears' defensive jerseys were being pulled over their heads. So I don't understand that game. It was a really rough game to watch as a fan.
What do you think, and you said it's a bad game overall, bad refs, bad plays, bad coaching, this and that. What was your take overall on, Mark Trestman's decision to go for it on second down? And just his whole take this year where he's had some risky fourth down, having Matt Forte go for it. And when Matt Forte converts, we all applaud Mark. Oh, he's gutsy. He gets the job done. But wouldn't you agree Mark Trestman's being way too gutsy and he's hurting the team? Because I feel like he has this CFL mentality where it's I'm going to be risky and go for it, and he doesn't know that this is the NFL where defenses will read what you're doing and they will stop you.
Yeah, I feel here's the thing: the Bears defense came up huge on the goal line when they intercepted the ball in the fourth quarter, and I think it was Boss. I can't remember. Green intercepted the ball and ran it back for 45, 50 yards, something like that. And then you'd run 3 running plays. That's great. It's 4th and 1. Why wouldn't you just go for it? All right, your defense is less than stellar. I know you want to see if you can pin them back, but I would have gone for it on 4th and 1. You run a few more seconds of play clock out and things like that, but then the ball changes over. I don't know. There were a lot of things that I just didn't understand in my own mind. And I'm going to be honest. I think Mark Trestman's a fantastic coach, but I just didn't agree with some of the decisions that he's made. Or I would actually be honest with a lot of coaches they made this year, coaching decisions that across the NFL there's been a lot of mistakes. You've seen it even in college football. Look what Nebraska did last week. They're punting at their own 30-yard line, or they run a trick play on their own 30-yard line. So I think all in all, around football in general, there's just been some really gutsy plays that you sit and scratch your head and be like, wow, I wouldn't have done that.
Now, looking to the Monday night game against the Dallas Cowboys this week, do you think the Bears defense can finally turn around and stop the run, or will the Bears continue the same pattern of poor defense?
Ratliff played pretty well on Sunday, and I thought there were a few plays that, Cohen had some good plays. Paez back. I think there's a lot of good things coming back to the Bears. Now, the Bears, they can still make the playoffs. I mean, I know I told my family back home in Chicago, the Bears are done. I'm over it. But, I'm moving on to the Cubs baseball season, which will be another 90-game loser. But the thing is I look at it, and the Bears, if they win their next, they have 4 more games left, I think, off the top of my head.
Yes.
Or 3. If they win the next 4, they should make the playoffs. Now, the Lions, I wouldn't be surprised if you see the Lions lose on Sunday against the Eagles. It's on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
The Lions are not a very good team. They are not a very good team whatsoever. In fact, a lot of my sports friends on the sports talk stations out in Grand Rapids, they know the Lions aren't very good. Matthew Stafford is not a great quarterback. Their defense is okay. They make stupid mistakes. All in all, the NFC North is a strong division, but it's been so back and forth this season that there really isn't a team that I would say is your front runner.
You said that the Lions are a not very good team, and now I agree with you. Is there any chance that that's because they have Jim Schwartz coaching a team who, in my opinion, is an immature child and is very hard to root for,
Oh, the entire Lions team is hard to root for.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest. I remember growing up as a kid, we go back and we're talking about the NFC North. You had such a classy team, and now you look at the Lions, they're not very classy at all, and you can't stand them, whether it's Ndamukong Suh or Nick Barley, whomever it is. They're just, I don't know, you just never know what they're going to pull, and it's funny, every team they play says that they're a dirty team. So it is really hard to root for them. And I think that's why, as a Bear fan, you're not really excited that if they make it in the playoffs that they're representing your division, because really you don't like them at all. Even the Packers, I can't stand the Packers, but you're at least going to root for them to some degree. If they go to the Super Bowl, you're like, oh, look, we're representing the Super Bowl. Now, do I want them to lose? Yeah. But at least they're representing you, and they're a classy organization, unlike the Lions. In fact, it's funny, the Cowboy, we have a few ex-Cowboy coaches and players that play for the Bears. And ESPN Chicago reported and wrote an article about how they said they did not like playing for the Cowboys or working for the Cowboys, and they love the Chicago Bears. They love the heritage. They love the classiness and how it's not a Hollywood-type team like the Cowboys are. And I think that's one thing that the Bears have up above any other team, is that it's all about the fans. It's a great city. It's a great field to play on. It's Soldier Field, and, the fans are with the Bears no matter whether they're winning or losing. And I think that's what represents the Bears, and I think that's why you see most people rooting for the Bears. I don't see too many people hating on the Bears like you do the Lions, or like the Cowboys. I mean, how many people do you see can't stand the Cowboys, even though they're called America's team? But I kind of doubt that anymore.
And I completely agree with you that it's a very hard team to root for. You have guys like Nick Fairley, Ndamukong Suh, all these guys who just get DUIs, who get arrested. It's just a very, I don't want to use the word thuggish team, but they're very rugged, and they're very hard to root for. And there's all this talent on the team, but in my opinion, it's so hard to root for them because they just do things off the field. Like there's that joke on Twitter, did a Detroit Lion get arrested this week? You never hear that about the Bears or the Packers or the New England Patriots. There's no other team that's made fun of like the Detroit Lions.
Only with the Patriots, Aaron Hernandez can cause a murder. That's about it. But no, and I agree with you, Ryan, totally. I think here's the thing. This is the problem with sports in general, and this is a whole other topic for another day. But sports in general, I mean, look at Robinson Cano signing, 10-year? He's 31. He signed a 10-year deal worth $220 million. I think that's what it is, something like that. I mean, it's all about the money for these guys, and I think that's the fun thing about watching the Bears or watching the Packers, even watching the Patriots. As much as I'm not a big Patriots fan, but they pick up guys who want to play. They're not there for the money. Jay Cutler this week, he wouldn't mind if the Bears placed the franchise tag on him, which I guarantee you that's what's going to happen. I don't think he's going to get that big contract that he wants, and you know what? He's accepted. He's been injured this year, so I think that's the difference between the Bears and a few of the other teams in the NFL is that it's about money and not so much about the love of the game.
And now, who do you have winning? Is it going to be the Bears or the Cowboys this coming Monday for Monday Night Football?
Yeah. I had to flip a coin on this one because I didn't really know who to take. I'm going to take the Bears. I think the Bears are going to win at least by a touchdown.